Hello and welcome to Newsworthy Stories with Jacqueline Jimenez. I'm a television and social media news coverage consultant and author of How to Get Television News Coverage. It's easier than you might think. And what I do is teach businesses how to identify news stories in their business or nonprofit, and then help them get local or national news coverage, as well as produce news stories specifically for social media. Now, today we're going to talk about an upcoming period packing event. And you may be asking, what is that? Well, joining me now to talk more about what is a period packing event is Dr. Sierra Bostic and Ashley Eubanks of Beauty Initiative. So, thanks for joining me, ladies.
Thank you.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited because when I saw your flyer on LinkedIn, I was like, I need to find out where they are because I've talked a little bit about this um, out of state, but never in South Florida. So, Sierra, why don't you go ahead and tell us what about this upcoming packing event?
Well, my organization, God's Gift Incorporated, which is stationed here in South Florida, we are hosting one of many of our summer series. And this particular summer series is our period packing party. A period packing party, for those who do not know what it is, it is when we get donated hygiene items, whether they be from schools, local donations, or our partner organization with the Beauty Initiative. We collect hygiene items and we have music. It's a big celebration. We have different organizations come out, different women, different girls to get community service hours to come out and to pack bags. Hygiene product bags to be distributed. So this week's event, which is taking place this upcoming Saturday, the menstrual bags and hygiene bags are actually going to be distributed to our local elementary school, who we partner with through my organization. The school is Rock Island Elementary.
Okay, excellent. So, tell us how can people help? How can people be a part of it?
I would love for the whole world to be a part of this, but this for this particular Saturday, we have it that it's on Eventbrite. Actually, if you were to go on Eventbrite, type in summer inspirational series. Actually, the acronym is SIS, but summer inspirational series, and it's going to say period packing party, and it's limited. I have a limited amount of numbers this time. Usually, it's kind of open. It's much bigger. This one is going to be more intimate, and I'm actually closing it on Wednesday. But if anyone is interested, for sure, go to the Eventbrite and log in. It's free. You can just come out. And if you want food, you better register because I have to do a head count. But anybody is open. Honestly, I had a church in Hollywood, which is totally far from where the event is going to be, who said they're interested in participating. So the word has been getting out. So I'm so grateful again for you having me to help spread the word of this event and period poverty.
Now, talk a little bit about, and Ashley, you can jump in if you'd like, to even talk about period poverty. What is it? Because I know people don't might not understand the ramifications of what happens during period poverty.
Well, period poverty is something that a lot of people don't even know exists, just like you said. And it's not just in South Florida or in other countries that are deemed as poorer countries. It's just having the lack of access to these products and the inability to actually afford these products. So sometimes you can't afford it, but you don't have access to products that you need or that are needed for you and your body. So a lot of people have access to tampons, but sometimes your body can't handle tampons. Sometimes you need something that's organic, or you need a menstrual cup. So that is what is deemed as period poverty. So what we do at the Beauty Initiative is we try to dispel that terrible notion of people that menstruate not having access to period poverty.
And I love on your LinkedIn profile, you have the minstrel maven. I'm like, that is awesome. I just love that name, because it is bringing, making this conversation more natural. This is something that it happens every month at least, and for some regularly, sometimes it's way more. And so some people think, oh, your menstrual cycle only happens once a month. But for teenagers who are exactly, I see you shaking your head. Some of these teenagers, it happens, they can have a menstrual cycle 2 and 3 times, a month, if not more. And, as their body, gets used to it. So it really becomes more expensive. And the fact is, many of these teens are that can't afford it are using what? socks, right?
Mhm.
They're using all kinds of products, or they're using the tampons too long, and it's causing like toxic shock syndrome.
Mhm.
This is can be deadly, not only poisonous to your body, but deadly. So this is the seriousness and the need. I wanted to talk also to businesses to help them understand that I know Cotex is a provider for what you're doing. Can you talk a little bit about what Cotex is, how Cotex is participating in your event?
Sure. So we're one of the allied programs with Alliance for Period Supplies, one of the first for since they started, and the primary founding sponsor is You by Cotex. So what You by Cotex has signed on to do is to actually give these products to allied programs that are serving in their community, especially smaller programs such as the Beauty Initiative. So normally it is so hard to get a sponsorship of in-kind donations, but You by Cotex has stepped up with the Alliance for Period Supplies to work with allied programs such as the Beauty Initiative and give us the products that we need, and also the products that they deem necessary for the community that we're serving. So we've gotten close to 70,000 products with the partnership with You by Cotex to serve South Florida and beyond. So we are so appreciative for their partnership and their sponsorship of products.
And you know what? We'll also figure out how, we'll put a link in the chat if you want to learn more about, you by Cotex. And the other thing is, not only is this one company helping out, but there's a way to partner with faith-based organizations. I know most people don't even realize um, most faith-based organizations they're serving the community. And I always tell businesses, partner with businesses or nonprofits that are serving the community because news will cover what is impacting the community the most. This story is not only local, it is national. It's probably worldwide because this is a problem everywhere. And this is how you can get involved. If this is something that is tugging on your heart and you think, gosh, I want to be a part of that. Because it's not often I first heard about it, the Purple House Project in Pennsylvania. They generally deal with like domestic violence, moms. Um, but also, it's not just the moms who needed them, it was their daughters. And just that idea that, a teenager has to go to school and the pressure, of the stigma, of having to go to the bathroom or it, going through your clothes, you know, it's just harsh. And so this is a subject that you can take on. You can do something about this. So many times we have initiatives that just seem too big for us. Like, I mean, even in Ukraine, you see these images every day, but then you feel like helpless. But this is something you can actually help with. This is something you can actually do something about. And so Saturday, June 11th, there is a period packing and you can be a part of it. You can either donate or you can volunteer, correct?
Yes.
So tell us how people can actually, I know they can register again. Can you tell us again? Because I know that they can register by also going to God's giftinc.org.
Yes, ma'am. So you can visit us on our website at www.godsgiftinc.org. Well, there's more information there as well. You can follow us on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on Twitter. We are literally on every social media platform spreading this. This is one of our main events that we usually have 2 or 3 of these a year in partnership with the Beauty Initiative. Because of what we see. And something, just what you said, Ms. Jacqueline, you don't know these girls where they come from, the girls that I mentor, the girls that are part of other programs. So again, I would suggest any business that's out there that's listening or looking to understand the importance of partnering with faith-based organizations. We are on the ground, we're doing the work. Even think about, I also work in law enforcement, so think about these young ladies who are in the jail system, and I'm not talking adults, I'm talking about our juveniles. How are they getting access? What if I'm a young girl in school? We don't have dispensers in schools anymore. So how am I getting access? So this is something that you have to take in consideration. And I know Ashley was working on something on getting businesses to build dispensers or pay for dispensers to be in our local elementary schools. There's always ways to help outside of donating a pad, which is great, but a pad, it can only last, 6 hours, if that at the max. But there's things that go on. There's still the training. Some of these young ladies don't even know the difference between a pad, a tampon. There's still the education behind this, the access. So this is something that continuously goes on. This does not stop. Our bodies don't randomly stop and say we're going to stop having periods. Like you said, they come 2 or 3 times a month.
Some,
It doesn't stop.
for some kids, and it's so frustrating for them. But you know what? You bring up a good point, also, Ashley, because Dr. Bostic, because I don't want to miss the point of what Ashley is doing with the legislature. Can you
Yes.
talk about that, Ashley?
Yes. So just like Dr. Bostic said, we have been fighting this fight for some years now, since 2016. And working in education, I had a student that actually could not go to class because she had bled through her clothes, and the clinic didn't have pads to offer her. So that's where I stepped up and spoke to Senator Lauren Book and said, what can we do? So we can give them a pad, we can give them a bag of actual pads and 40 items like we normally do. But this is something that's continuous, and it's a continuous problem. So we wrote what we call the Learning with Dignity Act, and that will ensure that students have access to these products while in school, whether it be a dispenser, whether it be a central location where they'll go without penalty, but they will have access to these products at all times during school hours. So we've been pushing it. It's our third year actually going up to legislation to fight for our students to have access to these products, because not only is it an issue in school, but it's also an issue when they go home. So learning with dignity is what we're pushing, of course, with these period packing events, but we're trying to go even further.
That is excellent. And, I want people to understand what you're doing, how they can get involved. And we'll put all that information in the chat, so you will have it, and you can get involved. I love this initiative. This is so dear to me. It just makes so much sense. And when it was first brought to my attention, it was just like, what? It just never even crossed my mind. And if you don't know, you don't know, but you do now. Okay, you do now. So you have an opportunity to do something about it. Dr. Sierra Bostic, I thank you so much. Ashley
Thank you.
Eubanks, thank you for what you're doing. Get
Thank
in on this period packing this Saturday, June 11th, but then beyond. I want to hear
It
the
doesn't just
stories
stop here.
beyond. Yes. We want to do follow-up stories. We want to hear what is going to be born out of this particular interview. And I'm just thrilled. And I have to thank Keisha Gray for putting
Yep.
it out there,
Yes. Yes.
on LinkedIn, because Keisha Gray put this particular flyer out on LinkedIn. And it was just something that I knew we had to talk about here in South Florida. So thank you so much, ladies, again, for joining me. Thanks for joining Newsworthy Stories with Jacqueline Jimenez, and we will see you next week.
thank you.
Thank you.